RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Not sure why for those complaining here this morning, and Donna, you're not a complainer, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
However, you're letting us know the YouTube was not working this morning. We are now live on YouTube.
Live from YouTube.
Okay, so two new Senate bills are threatening to cut pay to federal employees who are working remotely. What do we know about this one?
Ooh,
Ryan
they're not
Schmelz.
gonna like that.
Ryan Schmelz. I don't even know if they can do that or should be able to do that. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio on the line right now. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning.
What do we know about this one?
Right. So you have a number of bills. It includes the Federal Employee Return to Work Act and the Federal Employee Locality Accountability in Retirement Act, both introduced by Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, a Republican. So the Federal Employee Return to Work Act would exclude certain federal employees who telework at least one day a week from receiving raises and special locality bonuses for their office location. And then you also, and that's specifically geared to places that have a high cost of living. Then you have the other bill, which is the Federal Employee Locality Accountability of Retirement Act, would exclude locality bonuses when calculating retirement payment for federal employees enrolled in the Federal Employees Retirement System, or the FERS system, as they call it. So I think the best way to put this is, if you live in New York and you're working from home with a government job, this is going to be a crackdown.
Very interesting. And now, has this passed the Senate?
No. This just got introduced.
Oh, okay.
Recently.
All right.
But it's been a long time effort. You know, if you go down to the Small Business Small Business Committee on the House side, they've been kind of hounding the Small Business Administration to embrace more in-person work, because that's probably one of the government agencies that's seen the most telework. And when you have customer service departments and other departments where you need to be attentive to your constituents, they feel that it's just not productive to have so many people working from home.
Yeah. I do think there are those who, and I certainly know people who are working remotely.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe even doing so before COVID. And there are some people really good at it. There are also many safeguards that are available now where they actually are able to keep track of whether or not you're attentively on your computer working, or if you're running around the house doing your laundry.
Yeah, you got to be signed in, and it's a
signed
timer.
in, but it's more than
You have to have the motion of the computer.
Yeah, there's
like
activity and stuff. I find that kind of interesting.
Sounds like how they did high school for the during the pandemic.
I know that is true. However, I gotta say, this Ryan, I know you're much older than this generation, but there is a generation of workers out there that expect to be able to work remotely. And it's interesting.
Yeah, and there's the problem because, while I think there is this argument to be made that a return to work policy or more in-person work is definitely more effective, I think there's this concern amongst the federal government and certain office holders that if you embrace you get rid of a remote work policy, that's going to really hurt recruitment when it comes to younger candidates, because I think a lot of them expect at least some type of hybrid system or at least some type of option to work from home if they need to. And if you take that away, a lot of federal government agencies are struggling to find workers right now. They think that's going to make it even harder.
I do a lot of work from home. And at least the bulk of my day is done from home. This is the early part of my day, so I do understand it. But I will tell you that I know one person that recently was up for a job, and I think he took the job, but it was with the county, and he asked if he could work remotely, and the county said, this was Oneida County, said, this job requires that you are in person. So if you don't want the job, don't take it. So the answer is no to that. Some jobs require that you're there, right? It's very important.
My job.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly
and
right.
We can work from home here at Fox sometimes. I mean, but obviously, if it's a government, if we're heading into next week when we're in the heart of a government shutdown battle for the month of September, I think it is expected of me to be on the Hill at least whenever the lawmakers are in session. So. I mean, there's just certain jobs you can't work from home.
Well, right, and there's something special about an interview when you're interviewing a congressperson and you're looking them in the eye or chasing them down the hallway because they don't want to answer. You got to be there, and there are certain jobs that you have to be there, and And now I would think though that you would think that we would need policy, not a law.
Right. And it's sometimes I think it just depends on who's running the federal government.
Yeah, you're right.
I think that there is this consensus amongst the Biden administration in some cases where they do feel that, yes, there needs to be some type of return to work policy. But I think they're kind of running into the issues we talked about before, which
you can't find
we
people.
don't want to endanger recruiting.
Yeah.
If we're going to embrace a work from home policy, because, especially in D.C., there's a lot of high paying competitive jobs that compete against the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're worried that they're going to miss out on certain candidates. And, I think being able to, and the work from home policy has also given them the opportunity to expand their horizons and hire people in Pennsylvania or hire people in Virginia or West Virginia who are able to work from home and still be able to kind of fill out the requirements that they have. But then, of course, then you have the locality pay that gets tied into that. And you also get, some of the other, benefits that are tied in. And it's like, well, do we want to pay somebody a DC wage when they're living in rural Pennsylvania?
To me, I feel like if you can get that job and you're living in rural Pennsylvania, you should be able to reap the benefits of that. Just my personal opinion.
Just a reward.
And the other part of this is I think we got to handle this very carefully. And this is all of what we talked about, but just reiterating a little more. Many of our enemies today are working remotely. The hackers of the world. So some of the brightest minds. I think if we restrict, you're going to have to come in. You got to move here. That's it. End of story. Then I think we lose out on some very, very talented people.
Yeah, certainly. And I think we need to also remember that not every government job is in D.C., right? There's plenty that are, in rural America. Yes. They're in California. They're in New York. They're in Florida. So there's so many different ways to look at this, and certainly it's a debate to be had. But I think you will see Republicans crack down on this if in fact, they're able to get more control of Congress, or even if the presidency is run by Republicans. I mean, you saw one thing that kind of stands out to me is I believe it's Zoom is now doing return to work policies, and then you also have.
Think about that.
Ironic.
Yeah, and Elon Musk kind of really cracked down on that at Twitter when he came back, where he said, "No, I want you all back in the office. We're not doing this anymore."
Yeah. Some people don't know this because I've worked in radio for a long time, but prior to my radio job, I wanted to be a corrections officer, but I said only remote. I'll watch.
Excuse me,
I'll watch
inmate 246.
I'll watch the inmates
down.
from a TV camera, but I'm not going there. So they didn't hire me. I don't know why.
I think that was in an episode of South Park where they wanted to start an amusement park, but everyone who they interviewed wanted to have a work-from-home policy.
That's great. I love it. All right, Ryan, as always, we enjoy the conversation. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, you too, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. Davey, let's give away a 4-pack of tickets this weekend, right, to the next weekend, to the weekend after that, to the RV show that is coming up just 2 weekends away. To the RV show coming. It's the 21st and 22nd, right? The RV show that's coming to the New York State Fair. And I have a 4-pack of tickets that are yours if you are the third caller. Caller number 3 right now at 315-736-0186. Caller 3 right now, your chance to win from WIBX. Some other stuff I have today. I mentioned fans of Rachel Ray are very worried. Mm-hmm. Okay. Apparently she posted a video, and some feel something is going on.
Okay, like that she's under duress or something? Or?
Well, first of all, She just stopped when she started doing her show from home. Speaking of remote working.
Yeah, she actually in the Adirondacks, right?
Yeah.
Up north?
She just, I think, stopped doing her hair, stopped doing makeup and stuff. I mean, she looked different.
Okay, that's a good word. That's
the
a
word I'm
very
going to say.
Politically correct word.
Than the made-up Rachel Ray. Some even thought she was having a stroke. Do you want to hear her audio?
Yeah.
This will be for you to judge. Here we go. And do we know why it's not playing?
I do not. Maybe
try it again.
That should do it.
I think that'll do the trick. Here we go.
First time he came to my house, Tony Bennett ate 2 portions of ossobuco, and I almost killed him. I had polished the floors in the kitchen because, well, Tony Benedetto, that's his full last name. Tony Bennett's coming to dinner. I have to make sure the floors are perfect and the house is clean and everything is just amazing. I might have gone a little overboard with the floors because when I pulled out the chair for Tony to sit,
I don't think she sounds anything. Maybe she's got a wine in her or something like that.
Yeah, maybe she's just
Glass
a little
of
tired
wine
or something. You know.
I don't know.
down for his starter snacks and aperitivo, the chair slid out from under him and he hit his head on my marble.
Wow, that's terrible. I can't even believe it. I mean,
That's the bigger story.
yeah, the bigger story is
They almost killed Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett survived a terrible accident at Rachel
God.
Ray's house.
Counter behind him, and he fell to the floor, and I thought I killed Tony Bennett. I thought I killed him, literally. And his wife, Susan, so glorious, she says to me, Rachel, he's fine. He'll pop back up.
She does sound like she's got a little alcohol in her.
Slow, yeah, just a little bit slow.
A little
and
slurry, a little bit slurry.
She's had
I will tell you that
like a breathy, maybe,
whenever
like out of breath.
whenever we have somebody bring in alcohol, I can, if I have a drink, I can hear it in my headphones. But for some reason, if I have a drink at home, I think I'm perfectly fine. But if you listen in your headphones to your voice,
yeah.
you can hear a little slowness.
You know what you got to do? You have to walk around your house with headphones and a
maybe
mic.
maybe that'll do it. And a microphone. Mr. Mike, like a little Mr. Mike type thing. Am I okay to go to the top?
The 5750, sure.
Guess what band will be the first ever to have a song broadcast from the moon?
What band is that?
One would
Bill?
think maybe Pink Floyd. No. It's actually Imagine Dragons. I think they've added some sound effects to that. Last year, they recorded a song for the open world video game Starfield. It's called Children of the Sky. They'll perform it live next month at the Hollywood Bowl. Then it'll be transmitted back to Earth from the moon as part of Lone Star's Freedom mission.
Interesting.
So they will be the first to ever broadcast a song from the moon. The song itself will be broadcast from the moon.
From the moon.
That'll be a record, some sort of a
Thank you.
a Guinness record or sorts. I was looking at the forecast, and we're going to be close to 80 today, tomorrow, and Friday.
Yep.
Back into the 60s this weekend with rain Saturday,
yucky.
sunshine Sunday, and then back in the upper 70s all next week. It looks like beautiful weather so far for September. We'll give you the full forecast coming up, along with news, which is coming up next at the top of the hour. It's Wednesday morning at WIBX.
This is Dr. Robert Fleischer, urologist with Mohawk Valley Health System. MVHS, in collaboration with Upstate Urology, is hosting a free prostate cancer screening event throughout the month of September to recognize Prostate Cancer Awareness Month and encourage men to get screened. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and unfortunately the second leading cause of cancer death in American men. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Early diagnosis of prostate cancer significantly increases the likelihood of survival. The free screenings include a prostate exam with a prostate-specific antigen blood test. I strongly encourage all men aged 45 to 75 to participate. Early detection can mean the difference between life and death. For more information or to register, please visit mvhealthsystem.org or call 315-624-4600. That's 315-624-4600.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music and Electronics. Do you want to protect your property or business? We sell and install hundreds of camera surveillance systems each year, and we are New York State licensed. Big Apple Music sells security cameras with Starlight night vision, giving the best picture in the dark so you have the best chance of catching criminals. Our showroom is located on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, where we can give you a demonstration or we'll come spec the job at your location. Big Apple Music, 315-7.
Drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage. Fresh new look. Same great product.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Pitching tax breaks for small businesses. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Vice President Harris will do in New Hampshire today, less than 9 weeks before the election.
A big expansion of small business tax credits, proposing deductions for startup expenses increase from $5,000 to as much as $50,000. The tax plan is part of achieving a goal, her campaign says, of 25 million new small business applications in her first term.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Former President Trump will hold a town hall on Fox News Channel tonight in Pennsylvania, the day after the former president lost his attempt to get the New York criminal case. He was already convicted and moved to federal court.
Federal Judge Alvin Hellerstein says former President Trump has failed to satisfy the burden of proof required for the federal court system to take control of the state's case. The former president was convicted of falsifying business records in Manhattan. Trump's legal team has asked the state judge, Juan Merchan, to overturn the verdict because of the Supreme Court's immunity ruling.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. For now, sentencing is 2 weeks from today. Ukraine's foreign minister has resigned. Dmytro Kuleba's exit as Russian attacks continue. One overnight killed 7 people in Lviv the day after a Russian missile strikes hit Poltava and left more than 50 Ukrainians dead in the war. The U.S. has charged 6 Hamas militants for the October 7th attack that triggered the war, though there are 3 already dead and the others are somewhere in Gaza.
The Justice Department has a long memory. We will pursue the terrorists responsible for murdering Americans and those who illegally provide them with material support for the rest of their lives.
Attorney General Merrick Garland, a Phoenix police officer, is in critical condition, shot last night in Arizona, along with another officer who was saved by a bulletproof vest. The suspect's in custody. This after a deputy was killed in Houston, Texas, shot in his car on his way to work.
By the person who walked out of their car and shot at the victim or the deputy.
Police Chief Noe Diaz, a person of interest, in custody. America's listening to Fox News.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall!
Reagan, in theaters now. Rated PG-13, may not be suitable for children under 13.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Pope Francis is in the country with the world's largest Muslim population, Indonesia, to encourage harmony with Catholics. The first stop on a long trip to Southeast Asia.
Pope Francis's first full day in Indonesia was jam-packed. Meetings at the presidential palace, then a visit to the capital Jakarta's main cathedral in the afternoon. The 87-year-old's health is in the spotlight as he takes on what is seen as a taxing 12-day tour. In remarks to Indonesian authorities, Pope Francis compared the country's human diversity to the archipelago's 17,000 islands. He urged Indonesian leaders to preserve unity among what he called a magnificent mosaic. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A federal trial is underway in Tampa, Florida, where 3 people are charged with acting as agents of the Russian government. accused of trying to foment unrest in the U.S. and promote propaganda trying to interfere in U.S. elections. In New York, a former aide to the governor is accused of being a Chinese agent.
Linda Soon, who served as deputy chief of staff for Governor Kathy Hochul and previously as deputy diversity officer for former Governor Andrew Cuomo, was arrested Tuesday morning along with her husband and charged with acting as an agent of the Chinese government. Prosecutors say she used her state positions to subtly advance Beijing's agenda in exchange for financial benefits worth millions of dollars. Soon and her husband pleaded not guilty and were released on bond. The governor's office saying that Soon was fired from her position in 2023 after evidence of misconduct was discovered. Ted Linder, Fox News.
Stocks could drop again on Wall Street. Futures are falling the day after the Dow plunged 626 points. The Nasdaq lost over 3%, 577. NVIDIA took a beating, down almost 10%. The tech chip maker, which had surged in recent years, was hit by reports it's facing an antitrust investigation. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. We'll see temperatures close to 80 today, but right now a chilly start to the morning, 48 degrees under clear skies. Your full forecast is coming up. A 15-year-old boy accused of carrying out a murder in Syracuse has now been identified. According to court documents, Jaquest Williams is the person who shot and killed 15-year-old Alexia Lynch on Madison Street Friday night. Prosecutors say Williams intentionally opened fire towards the victim and she was hit multiple times. No other details about the tragedy have been made public. Williams remains in custody and is being held on $250,000 bail. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling on colleagues in Congress to pass bills aimed at protecting children online. Schumer made a stop in East Syracuse yesterday to discuss the Teens Online Privacy Protection Act and Kids Online Safety Act. Those pieces of legislation would limit the ability of social media companies to share a child's personal information and ban ads targeted towards them. These bills have already passed the Senate, but it's unclear if they'll come up for a vote in the House of Representatives. It took Utica police over 4 hours of negotiations to detain an emotionally disturbed man who was armed with a knife. Police say they were called by the individual's family members to the 800 block of Watson Place back on August 29th. The family fled the home after the man became aggressive, but 2 children were still inside. Police were able to convince the man to put the knife down and peacefully surrender. Utica police commended Officer Jordan Dodge for how the crisis negotiation was handled. The unidentified man was taken to Wynn Hospital for a mental health evaluation. Congressman Brandon Williams is getting a boost in his bid to remain in office. Williams has picked up the endorsement of fellow Republican and former President Donald Trump. Williams is hoping to earn another term representing the 22nd District and is being challenged by Democrat State Senator John Mannion in November. Mannion has the support of high-profile party members, including Vice President Kamala Harris and ex-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Will speak to Congressman Brandon Williams this morning on First News with Keeler. A man from New Jersey was killed in a UTV accident in Lewis County. New York State Police say 62-year-old William Timko Jr. was operating his UTV in Turin on Sunday evening when he passed a yield sign at the Route 12 and Milk House Road intersection. His vehicle was struck by a pickup truck operated by 29-year-old Almin Hadzik of Utica. Timko was pronounced dead at the Lewis County General Hospital. His passenger, 53-year-old Gina Liakakos of New Jersey, was taken to Wynn Hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is still under investigation. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica and Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, expect sunny skies with temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. Then overnight, clear skies bring temperatures down into the low 50s. Tomorrow, sunny skies return, and so do the warmer temperatures. We'll see a high near 80. Right now, we're at 48 degrees under clear skies. It's 7:08. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. That sound that you just heard, we'll play it again here. Actual audio of Clay Holmes blowing up and blowing the game last night.
Interesting.
He gave up a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. The Texas Rangers ended up victorious in that game, 7-4 the final score. What will happen to Clay Holmes and Aaron Boone? That will be determined at a later time, but the Yankees did lose after having a lead. He is awful. He is terrible, and probably the worst closer. At least he's the worst closer in Major League Baseball right now, maybe in history. The Yankees are now second in the AL East at 80-59. They'll look to grab the rubber match of this series tonight. The Mets, meanwhile, secured a series victory after topping the Red Sox 7-2 at Citi Field. David Peterson was credited with the win after striking out 11 batters and allowing 1 run over 6 innings pitched. Francisco Lindor, Mark Vientos, and Pete Alonso each went deep for New York, which has won 6 straight games to improve to 75-64. They're only a half game back of that final NL wildcard spot, and they'll look to sweep the series in tonight's finale. The Jets are still waiting for one of their top pass rushers to show up. Hassan Reddick is still a holdout. Robert Saleh says it's like finding change in the couch. The Jets acquired Reddick in March after making a trade with the Eagles, but he has not returned to the facility since his news conference in April. The 29-year-old has accumulated $2.05 million in mandatory fines and a $250,000 offseason workout bonus in an effort to sign a new contract. New York opens the season at the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. And Brian Daboll of the New York Giants will be taking over play calling duties from offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, who had been calling the plays in each of the previous 2 seasons. If you are dealing with excruciating pain, you have to go see Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff. I was dealing with foot and ankle inflammation and pain, and after 6 visits, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. And Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff used, on my foot and ankle, Revive Soft Wave Therapy. It's a device that was developed in Germany that sends high-speed sound waves to your body's impacted area, which promotes blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to be directed to that area. It promotes natural healing. And Dr. Delmedico is such a believer in this product that he has sold off his entire chiropractor practice so that he can focus on Softwave full time. He now owns 4 Softwave clinics and is also a distributor for the technology, so even other people can have this device to help patients. He's a true believer in it, and he wants you to know he's there to help. If you're dealing with excruciating pain, it can be debilitating and take over everyday life. And not only do you have the opportunity for it to help you, but there are several other major sports teams that are using this technology in their locker room. You know, as football season approaches, you got to know that the Denver Broncos, the Dallas Cowboys, the Falcons, the Saints, the Steelers, and the Dolphins all utilize Softwave in their locker room. Also, Team USA, a big user of the device during the Olympics. So, if you want to get in touch with Dr. Tim Delmedico and his team, they're ready for your call. You can call them at 315-725. That is 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427. Or you can go online, reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave on Genesee Street in Utica.
Do you want to know the, let's see, who is out with this? There are predictions. ESPN is out with predictions for Major League Baseball for the month of September. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hear where you're going, where your Yankees are headed? Believe it or not, we're less than 4 weeks away from the start of the Major League Baseball postseason. As the season heads into the home stretch, ESPN asked 18 of their baseball experts a series of questions to predict how things will play out. Which team will finish with Major League Baseball's best record?
Probably the Dodgers.
14 votes for the Dodgers, followed by 3 for the Phillies, 1 for the Brewers. Of the 12 teams currently projected to make the playoffs, how many will actually make it? All 12, 11, so Boston replacing Minnesota, Boston replacing Kansas City, all 12 is what they say. Who will win the National League West?
The Dodgers, obviously.
Who will win the American League East? This is the big one. This is the biggie for you.
I'm probably, the rate we're going, the Orioles.
According to the ESPN experts, 4 of them chose the Orioles. 14 chose the Yankees.
Wow.
14 of them chose the Yankees. Nobody is paying attention to the Mets here. Nobody.
That's what you want, though. You do want to be a little bit underestimated.
They're saying the Cubs and Mets will both miss the playoffs by 1 game, according to ESPN. The winner of the, and by the way, ESPN, the network that is, a couple of years ago, they were being written off for they were going to be dead.
Irrelevant.
Everybody was being fired. Remember? Screw them. Sorry. Houston Astros will win the American League West and enter the playoffs as the team to beat. There will be no team that will win 100 games, but 3 will have lost at least 100. And that, of course, will include the Chicago White Sox, who lost again. I think it was at 12 in a row, I believe.
Awful.
Losing to the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah,
so
that's a great timing.
There you go. There you go, just for the record. And Mike this morning says, I wonder if they can use that soft wave therapy on Andrew's head to help revive the pressure of the Yankee losses. That might be something you ask them.
I have to go back. I've got to go back.
Could I use it on my head? We'll break. Coming up, there is a search at New Hartford for a new superintendent of schools. We'll get into that coming up. Also, the free money question of the day from Hobica this morning. Davey, this morning's potential winnings. How much money are we talking about?
$150.
Well, you're going up in $50 increments here. $150 on the line. A chance for you to win $150.
Well, you want more?
This morning. I'm just commenting.
We could blow it and not do it at all, like Clay Holmes bowled the safe for the Yankees.
Okay, all right, okay. So you're saying, why don't we say 200 even? All right, 150.
Okay, 200.
All right, it's 200. There you go. How easy he is to coerce.
I know.
$200 on the line from Hobica here this morning. We'll do that at 7:35. And Congressman Brandon Williams coming up as well.
Summer is here, and if you want to transform your backyard into your very own staycation, look no further than Liverpool Pool and Spa. They're offering the season's lowest prices on above-ground pools with both round and oval sizes available. Low monthly payments or 24 months 0% financing for qualified buyers. Own a high-quality pool without the high price. Visit them at 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome or online at liverpoolpoolandspa.com. Don't just dream it, live it.
Hot tubs. Hot tubs. Hot tubs. Millions of dollars of factory direct 2024 inventory. Final day. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Hundreds of hot tubs and swim spas ready for immediate delivery. Factory direct prices. Many models to choose from. Come see the revolutionary swim spa and save thousands. Trade-ins welcome. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. 18-month interest-free financing. New 2024 inventory. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Free admission. Free parking. Call 855-SPA-SALE.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name's Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. We had a house fire. Got a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. My house was fully involved. That morning at 6 o'clock, I called. Leslie was my agent, and within a matter of 20 minutes, the agent had called me, and within a matter of 2 hours, the agent was on scene, assisting me with whatever I needed, and Gates Cole went above and beyond. I would highly recommend Gates Cole Insurance to anyone for the customer service that they have provided for me during not only my fire, but also for all my business needs.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Paleo, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
El Señor Tequila Bar and Grill, 103 Genesee Street, New Hartford. Upstate Ink and Thread, 9443 River Road, Marcy. The network at 600 French, 600 French Road, Utica.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. You know what to do with the boxes and various packaging, but what about its content? For tissues, paper towels, napkins, wax paper, paper cups, and plates, they all go in your regular trash container. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com, your recycling experts.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hey, Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation. I want to tell you, right now there are some great programs out there, including NYSERDA's Empower Plus program. They have another program which is basically it's income-based. But there's another program out there that is for even moderate income households. You could be eligible up to $5,000. And then the home electrification appliance rebate called HEAR, H-E-A-R, funding through the Inflation Reduction Act. A lot of money out there to be efficient, energy efficient. And right now for New Yorkers, and think about what happened in Rome, they can receive an electrical service upgrade, which could include the panel box, electrical wiring upgrade, etc. And in some cases have it done absolutely no charge. And for the energy efficiency improvement program, up to $5,000, even for moderate income households. So there are a lot of options out there. Very confusing, though, right? How do you know what you're eligible for and what you can take advantage of? It does take a rocket scientist, and apparently Collis has rocket scientists. They'll walk you right through the program. Just call them today at 315-860-1301. They will inform you and guide you and hopefully save you a ton of money as we are on the cusp of cold weather. It's Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I have one more for you from the official coffee.
I've been to that rocket science department at Collis.
Yeah.
It's quite extensive.
You were in the rocket science training department.
Yeah, well, the security is very tight.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Speaking of rocket science, it ain't rocket science. You just make great food, a speedy drive-through.
Yep.
You make your donuts fresh every day. Croissants baked fresh every day with real butter. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. The matcha green tea latte, the pumpkin latte, all of that available. And right now they have added, and you can get it right in the drive-through, and it's convenient. There's a little holder, and it's just easy to drive away with. They are now serving avocado toast on
I'm so hungry, Bill. I'm so hungry. I never knew anyone could.
On Heidelberg peasant bread, which I really like.
That's good stuff. You're making me hungry.
It's the avocado toast now available at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. All right, in studio, congratulations, by the way, Beth Coombs as now the president of the New Hartford School Board.
Thank you, Bill.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I do want to say that I forgot that you guys have a camera in your studio, so I pretended to lick the microphone because Andrew said to keep it really close to your mouth, so I turned to Davey and fake licked it. I did not actually lick it.
Well, you've informed everybody that you did or didn't.
Great. We need to bring out the Lysol.
Full disclosure, I just wanted to say.
For the record, the camera was not on you at that time, so you're okay.
Now everybody knows.
Now you know.
Trish Kilburn, did you have any idea what you're getting yourself into here?
I'm about to find out.
Yeah. So anyway, Beth, congratulations on that. And from BOCES, Dr. Trish Kilburn, good morning.
Good morning.
So whoever wants to take the lead here, New Hartford is now in the midst of a superintendent search.
That is accurate. So Dr. Tangora, who is our current superintendent of schools, let the board know that he was going to be retiring as of March. And of course, that means that the board, one of our main charges, aside from setting the budget and setting policy, is to hire and evaluate and in some cases separate from superintendents. And so the board immediately started the discussions about what that search could look like. How can we make it as inclusive as possible? The first step we took was to retain Dr. Kilburn as our search consultant. She helped us with the last search. It's actually the process itself of hiring a superintendent, searching for and hiring a superintendent, is really, really complex. And there's a lot of background work that takes place. So we're really grateful to have Dr. Kilburn on board to help us with that process.
Well, in addition to the background work, correct me if I'm wrong, there is a shortage of superintendents right now.
Yeah, they're not exactly growing on trees.
Yeah,
it's become a pretty political position.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, I think, who went into education as teachers and then became principals are finding a different environment when they go into the superintendency. And so not as many people are applying for the position, and that's one of many reasons for that.
I will tell you, my wife's father was a superintendent and is now an education consultant. And she was asked, will you follow in your father's footsteps? Because, the money can be pretty good, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. But beyond that is her answer was absolutely not.
Never.
Because you're always working.
Yeah.
There's really no time off when you're a superintendent.
Correct.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I think that and the position of the athletic director are probably two of the most difficult, time-consuming jobs. I mean, being a teacher, very, very challenging. Principals, challenging. When you get up to that superintendent, athletic director, those are really, really tough positions.
Yeah.
And so, the board from the very beginning, the one thing that we were all just 100% in agreement on is that we wanted to find the best possible superintendent. The way I characterize it to the board is wherever this person comes from, I want the district that they're leaving to cry. I want them to be so sad that this person is leaving because they're so great. Yeah. No offense to that district, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody that's so beloved and awesome and fantastic at their job that when they leave, that district is just so sad.
Can you talk about Dr. Tangora? And because there was initially a story that came out immediately, he's stepping down because of A, B, and C. The reality is that was his plan from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's
talking about retirement.
Yeah, he's retiring from the district. I was part of the search committee that, and actually Dr. Kilburn was the search consultant when we retained him. And we knew from the very beginning that he was going to be here for a short term. There were a lot of things that had to happen in the district that we anticipated would not make him super popular. And in some cases, that's exactly what's happened.
Has that played a role in him stepping down?
No, not at all. Not at all. This is exactly when he planned to step down.
Timeline.
Yeah, the timeline. Yeah. This is exactly what we anticipated. I don't think I knew down to the month when he was going to go, but yeah, this was his choice. I mean, if I had been a superintendent for as long as he was, as soon as I was eligible for retirement, I would take it too.
Well, and he's reached the I asked the question that sometimes you ask, and the answer. I spoke to him when he first started, and this was the time that he was going to retire. So there's really no surprise there. And the other part is there was a lot to clean up, and those can be very difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's been the case. And now the board is really focused on the future of the district and moving ahead. And, we would love to find a leader that can lead the district. I mean, traditionally, we've always had long-term superintendents at the district. So the hope is that we can find someone who's going to be here for the next 10 to 15 years and really lead the district into, continuing our track record of excellence, but really, pushing that even further and seeing what else we can achieve.
Trish Kilburn, what are your thoughts on this?
So I'm completely here to support the New Hartford Board of Education. One of the things I really love about my job is that I support an entire region and their educational systems. And this is probably some of the most important work that boards of education do. And they're the elected representatives from their community to do that work.
Yeah.
So I absolutely am here to support New Hartford. I'm looking forward to supporting them in the search. I do believe that they're trying to set up the search in such a way as to attract an experienced administrator, ideally a superintendent or a district level administrator who can come to New Hartford and make that part of their longer term plan.
Now, as far as the search goes, there's a few ways that it can go, right?
Yes.
There's a different, ways you can go about it, whether it be, closed interviews, open interviews, people meet him or her, or however it can play out. Have you guys decided on what method of search you will go with?
Yeah, so you can either have what's called an open search or you can have a confidential search. In an open search, the way that it typically happens, and Trish has conducted way more of these than I have, so she can speak to
Does
so
it have to
many
be
more.
one or the other?
Generally, well, you either are going to reveal who the final candidates are, or you're going to keep it confidential all the way to the end.
All right.
And so in an open search, typically what's done is the board will interview, screen, whatever, get to maybe 2 final candidates, and then reveal those 2 final candidates to the community. They'll have some forums, and then the board will select one of those 2 candidates. The limitations with that is that, think of it like you're a superintendent or you're a well-placed administrator and your district loves you.
You don't want anybody to know.
Yeah, you're going to say, hey, I really love my job here, but I'm going to go see if that one's better.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get it, then you go back.
candidate.
Yeah, you go back.
essentially.
So if you're really, as Trish said, there are a limited number of candidates. And so our goal is to keep that pool as broad as possible. And we felt that the best way to do that was through a confidential search.
Okay.
But we understand that there are people, and I get it totally, who want to have a big hand in selecting the next superintendent. It's arguably one of the most important roles in the school district. And so we are setting up the search with Trish's help to be as inclusive as possible. In the previous search, we conducted thought exchanges. We held some focus groups. We're going to be expanding those focus groups so there are more, so that we're reaching into more I guess you would call it like niches of the school district. So say parents of kids who are in special education, maybe kids themselves who are BC students as opposed to, A students we hear a lot from. We're going to be doing a lot of that. And then what we're doing, which I don't think anyone's ever done it before. We are putting together what I would call a mission statement for the search. And we're going to bring community members and stakeholders back in for that to help us basically craft this guiding statement, which will be sort of a check for the board as we're going through interviews and screening to say, okay, is this candidate, they sound great, but are they really what the community and we have decided we want?
So the community is essentially putting the checklist together of what the qualifications would be in said candidate.
In cooperation with the board, absolutely, that's what's happening.
Oh, you want to add to that, Trish?
So, I think it's really great when a guiding statement sets the tone for what that search will be, because people do wonder, you place your trust in your board members. They are your elected community representatives. So the community's always involved in the search because they elect the people who conduct the search.
We forget that sometimes.
Right.
I want to say in everything.
Well, they really do have a say. There was
in the search the whole
a particular
time.
candidate that was running for another larger school district in the area that kept saying we need another committee so that the parents can be involved. You don't need another committee.
Right.
You have school board meetings
There's
can go
a process
to.
for that.
And you elect those school board members.
Yeah. Absolutely. They are the elected community representative. Yeah. And for one of the main reasons for this exact purpose now.
Right.
But the guiding statement is really a significant tool. And I can only speak for how we do searches in this region, right? It's different in different parts of the state. But what we do is we take all those focus groups and we take the thought exchanges and the surveys and we pull all of that data together. And then the board works through that to draft a guiding statement, to draft one. So bringing the community to that process, I think, is a fantastic idea. New Hartford is the first in this region to bring the community in for that process. But they really do follow that. As the search consultant, part of my role is to help that board be accountable to what the community is saying they need in their superintendent. Yeah. So, executives can come in and give a really polished interview. So what can happen is you're in the interview and someone comes in, they have all the right answers, and you're like falling in love. But you have to check that guiding statement and hold yourself accountable to it and say, okay, wait a minute. They were great, but they really weren't lined up with that statement.
I want to ask you, and I'll start with you on this, Trish, and then Beth. There have been a few things that have happened at New Hartford that one in particular, the LeBron James story, which went national, did not make New Hartford look very good at all.
Nope.
Does that play any role in this search? In the mission statement? In the goal of...
In the crafting of the guiding statement. You know, I think we will hear that...
Because for Kaz Tangora, inclusion was a major part of his history, his tenure, his career.
Yep. And I do believe that the feelings and emotions around that situation will come to the fore, not only in the surveys, but in the focus groups. So it's going to be important that when you're drafting that statement, that guiding statement, that you're reflecting all of that. You know, that really is the time to unpack the great things that are happening into a district, just like you unpack where you have room for growth. So that would be the place for that work.
Beth?
I have to agree with what Trish said. And I think it's important to note, too, is that the board's not afraid to hear those things from the community. We're trying to make these forums and the thought exchanges as open as possible, because we're not trying to ask a question to get the answer that we want. We're trying to get authentic feedback from the community, from our faculty, from, throughout everybody who's a stakeholder, which is an easy way of saying everybody who has some investment in the school district.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was a terrible thing that happened within the district. And, we've been responding, within the district. But I expect to see that sort of play itself out and manifest within those thought exchanges and within those focus groups. And I expect it to be part of one of the things that we're looking for when we go to retain a new superintendent.
Who would have thought LeBron James would play a role in the next superintendent of schools at New Hartford?
I wish he didn't.
And you wish he didn't. Anything you guys want to add on this? Has anyone reached out already? Anyone locally?
Yeah, has the advertisement gone out for
No, the advertisements have not gone out.
I don't think
yet.
the advertisement has to go out for somebody to reach out.
Good point.
Very good point. And I have not gotten any calls yet.
Okay, just checking.
No, but there is, just so you know, all things superintendent search have a dedicated page on the New Hartford Central School District's webpage. So if you go to the homepage, it's newhartfordschools.org. You scroll down to featured links. There's a page, superintendent search. So the links for every FAQ, every letter, everything that goes out with regard to the search is housed there, along with the calendar of, how we're expecting to proceed through this. Eventually the links through the thought exchange for the focus groups. We want to make it as transparent as we can so that all that information is in one place and you don't have to hunt for it.
All right. Dr. Trish Kilburn, thank you.
Thank you.
Beth Coombs, thank you.
Thank
Beth
you,
and I have talked about school board issues in the hallway a few times.
I believe it.
A long time ago, Bill.
That was a long time ago.
If these walls could talk.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Davey, we're going to do Hobica's free money question of the day. You're looking for caller number what?
Caller number 6.
All right, 315-736-0186 right now at WIBX.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code 2024 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code 2024 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code 2024 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code 2024.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro. Be advised, this is a great opportunity to save thousands on a hot tub and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Millions of dollars of factory direct 2024 inventory. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Hundreds of different models to choose from. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs in stock, ready for delivery. Save thousands. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Free admission. Free parking. Call 855-SPA-SALE.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
Summer congestion got you down? Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can change your whole day. You feel tired and run down like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs without drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage, fresh new look, same great product.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
When we get together with others, we can do more. On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Your donation will help hundreds of nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 20th at givemb.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
Powered by the Community Foundation and Up Mobility Foundation, proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank, and brought to you by Town Square Media.
Wouldn't it be great to have AC? You deserve to have air conditioning in your home. And no, I'm not talking about those clunky window units. I'm Jen from Standard, and my team is here to help. Regardless of the type of home you have or your income, we can install AC and make sure you stay comfortable this summer. And even better, in many cases, rebates and incentives significantly reduce the cost, or you could even get it for free. Call Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
We were on episode 2 of Murders, Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, that came out last night.
Yeah.
How was the second one? Good?
I love the series. I think it's good.
I do too.
It's good.
Well, it'll be a welcome break when we watch that tonight, as opposed to, as I just told you, we've been watching Lifetime movies for whatever reason. Oh my God, are they stupid?
Some of the greatest actors in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And once they're washed up, that's where they go.
Well, I don't know what was better, the One Night Stand Murder or How to Kill a Stepfather. I don't know which one was my favorite.
That would be a tough decision. Here is Tim in New York. Mel is ready to take a shot at Hope Ike's free money question of the day. Tim, good morning.
Morning, Bill.
How you doing? You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
You know, we started out with $150, but a little pressure on Davey, and all of a sudden
it was very easy.
$200 today. $200 on the line. All right. Plus, we have some other stuff to give you a chance to win as well. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. And here is your question. Every day there's another national day. Today is blank day.
Yeah,
today's
right.
popcorn day, whatever.
Ooh.
Today is National What Day. Marlon Perkins would be happy. Ready? Go.
Psycho.
Did you say, Psycho? Oh, you're thinking the other Perkins. This is Marlon Perkins.
What other Perkins is there?
He's the guy from Psycho.
Okay.
What was his name?
Well, Hitchcock
The actor.
wrote it, but
right, I understand. But there's nothing to do with any of this.
No, I know.
Today is National Wildlife Day.
Oh.
Marlon Perkins was on Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Wildlife Day.
Right.
Today is National
That was a very good hint for $200.
I thought that was a really good hint.
Not to make Tim feel bad.
Well, Tim, not to make you feel bad, but you have options here. We have tickets to 1964, The Beatles.
Ooh.
That'll be playing at the Stanley Theater coming up in another 2 weeks. And also, I have RV show tickets we can give you as well. And you'll automatically get the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card. And it is good at Aquavino, Babes, Taylor and the Cook, Cookies, Q and Creamery, and, of course, at the Adirondack Bank Center. So you get to pick. I'm going to let you work that out with Davey, but there's lots to get when you lose.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
All right, Tim. Good hearing from you, Tim. Thank you, man.
You too. Okay, bye now.
All right.
Thank you.
By the
Have a
way,
good day.
Happy National Wildlife Day.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Hold on just a second. It's am I right? It's Marlon Perkins.
Yes.
From Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Don't take anything I say with me.
Let me confirm this to make sure I'm correct. Congressman Brandon Williams, it was Marlon Perkins, right?
It certainly was.
Yeah.
You remember that was on right before The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was
That was my whole Sunday night.
It was mine too. We're
Yeah.
we're of similar age here.
Vintage.
And similar vintage. That is correct.
Good word, Congressman.
And
Yeah.
at least in my house, it would be like, okay, take your bath, and then as soon as you guys are done, you come out in your pajamas and you sit down. You can watch in black and white for us at that time. You can watch Wild Kingdom, which I never really wanted to watch, but after that was Disney. It was a big night, Sunday nights.
Yeah. Well, remember Jim, the assistant, was always getting tested on his resilience to stand up to wildlife attacks.
It is, yes. Well, Jim right now is in the
sort of voice.
He's in the clutches of the teeth.
Olympian.
He's in the clutches of the teeth of the Bengal tiger. Jim, how are you feeling now?
Jim, how does it feel to have the elephant on your head?
Now, he was a big, Jim was a big one on the Tonight Show, and even on Letterman as well. He went for years afterwards, so I'm pretty sure.
Remember, Johnny Carson was always creeped out by whatever animal Jim brought on. That was...
well, it's because
they always
put the animal
for the toupee, I think.
They always put the animal on his head, and who knows what happens then. So, all right, the good old days. Whoa, have we changed and have moved on from the good old days. All right, here you are in the midst of a campaign. Have you braced yourself for all the mean commercials that are about to come your way? They're going to be out.
In some cases, have already been out.
Yeah, and some have already been out.
Let's talk about the good old days. Want to, Bill?
Let's talk about Sunday nights.
You know what I tell people is I have 500 days at sea on a submarine with 160 guys, and it takes a lot to get under my skin. It is, it's just part of the job. A lot of what they say just simply isn't true. I just was looking at one ad this morning. Because they're on all the time now, and they're literally quoting me as saying things I never said, and positions I've never held. So everybody should just take it with a grain of salt, and this is what money in politics does.
So there had to be, in some way, this came from the New York Times, and as part of one of the ads, in some way you said something that I'm assuming was taken out of context, saying that in some cases the you would avoid abortion even if the woman's life were in danger and it cost the woman's life.
I never literally that's precisely what I was talking about, Bill. I actually have never said anything like that whatsoever. And the quote that they use in that ad, they're quoting the reporter. not quoting me, but it looks like they're quoting me, but they're actually quoting the reporter. When that article came out, we actually went all the way to the editor of the New York Times in protest, telling them to take down that article, and they refused. And it's one of the most egregious forms of media malpractice ever. My stance has always been exactly the same. I am pro-life. I support 3 exceptions: life of the mother, rape, and incest, and I won't vote for a national abortion ban. I've said precisely those things for more than 2 years now, and you're now watching $1 million of commercials say just the opposite. So
that has been the one. That is
the way it is.
Obviously,
yeah. There's the DCC one, or the DCCC ad that has you saying,
that's a Democratic ad as well.
Yeah, right. That says you're pro-life, and you say that without reservation or.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's exactly the ad we're talking about. So that's the ad that's been playing a lot over and over again, and really, I think the only ad that I've seen. Obviously, they feel at least in the 22nd, that's going to play a big role based on their polling.
Well, that's the only attack ad and angle that they have. They're going to say, something like, I'm ultra MAGA and the misrepresenting everything I've said on abortion. And that's because that's all they have. Every other issue, if it's crime, if it's the border, if it's immigration, if it's inflation in the economy, if it's energy, all of those other issues, they don't want to talk about because they're on the wrong side of all those issues. And so you're going to just see that amplified and distorted. And we have answers to that. I don't want to give it away, but my television ads just went up on the air today talking about being a veteran. I'm the only nuclear submarine veteran in Congress in the last 50 years. And just focused on supporting and representing Central New York because I'm not a career politician.
Yeah. I will say that your opponent, Senator John Mannion, did speak very, highly about the campaign that he hopes that the both of you will run. As far as, and I know you're kind of talking at the Democrat Party and the committee to elect other Democrats to Congress, but he's really keen on trying to keep this as civil a race as possible. Do you kind of share that same hope as far as between the two of you?
Well, I think you got to look at what he does and not at what he says. He called his primary opponent a liar and a desperate liar, I think was the words that he used. And he called, on a Zoom call, he called Central New York voters ignorant because they were concerned about the migrant crisis. And that doesn't sound very positive to me. What do you guys think?
Well, I will certainly ask him about both of those. Yeah. I want to ask about I know you're a staunch supporter of Israel, as we are in this country. However, one of the issues right now, you have a large uprising in Israel, especially after the latest death of the 6 hostages was announced and discovered. There are a lot of people that want some sort of a ceasefire, an end to this conflict, to this war. And part of the issue is at the same, and when Netanyahu spoke about this yesterday, he said they've just killed 6 of our people, 6 hostages, and you want us to take our foot off the gas. I completely can identify with that, but at the same time, there is the public opinion issue that is a real problem for Israel right now and for the United States. How do we get out of this and avoid or put an end to the college campus protests, to the protests that are happening around the country, to the protests that are happening right now in Israel?
Yeah, it is. There's a weird psychology at play here. We're faced with an incredibly difficult situation, incredibly difficult set of choices. And, they have, still, 66 or so hostages. Most of them are dead, we think, and 23 of them, we think, are still alive. And Hamas knows this is the reason they did this, is that they have leverage so long as they have those hostages, which is the most cynical and disgusting thing that a government can do. But of course, it's a terrorist government.
Right.
And so I think you're exactly right, Bill, that they murder 6 hostages. Why should we reward them for that? Why should we attack our own government, is what the Israelis are doing, when in fact it's this group that is solely responsible for that. There was a ceasefire on October 6th of last year, and Hamas broke it on October 7th. And so war brings all kinds of terrible choices. And I had the privilege of meeting John and Rachel, the Goldberg, Hirsch Goldberg's parents, when I spoke at a hostage rally in New York City in April. And early part of April, there was about 8,000 people there near the UN. And they had spoken just a few people before me. And their anguish was just so present. I mean, it was hard to be even in their presence because of just the incredible anguish and burden of their son being held hostage, and they handled it with such grace. But even given that, we've got to prosecute the war and support Israel in prosecuting the war on Hamas. When was the last time that a American hostage was killed by Palestinian terrorists? It was in the 80s. We went and put 2 aircraft carriers in the neighborhood and for a show of force for the people that did it. And I don't see, I know we've got a lot of forces there supporting Israel right now, but I don't see much action on behalf of Harris and Biden in reaction to a murder of an American.
I want to ask you, you were recently endorsed by former President Donald Trump. Do you get frustrated at times that some of the things at these rallies that the president says, and do you get frustrated at times that he's not focusing on policy, not focusing on the border and the things that could really cause some damage to the Harris campaign?
Well, we've got 3 hours. You're treated to 3 to 6 hours a day of uninterrupted thought of what Donald Trump is thinking just about every day, right, at these rallies or interviews or podcasts. And in the last 40 days, we've only had 30 minutes of Kamala Harris and what she thinks in a heavily edited CNN interview. And, when you weigh both of those things, I think for transparency and to interview for the job of president, I'll take 3 to 6 hours of unfiltered thought over 8 weeks of silence or whatever it is, 6 weeks of silence and 30 minutes of heavily scripted and edited interview, because we got to know who's running the country. Right now, I don't think we know who's running the country. I'd much rather focus on the issues because that's what the people of Central New York and the Mohawk Valley care about. But presidential politics are what they are. The personalities are what they are. So I just keep my head down in my race, to be honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. Homogeneous Metals. Recently you were there. Pretty amazing what that company has accomplished.
It is so fun to tour the different manufacturers around Central New York. I'm in Utica, I don't know, probably 3 days a week. Oneida County, I should say. I was there yesterday at SUNY Polytechnic and spent several hours there. But HMI Metals, they are building these critical parts for aircraft and particularly for our military aircraft. And it only happens here. They're owned by Lockheed Martin, but they've been around in our neighborhood for a long time. And so supporting these companies in our area and manufacturing in our area, I tell people it's our past, our present, and our future. So it's not just about Micron. It's about all these other mid-sized companies that employ, tens of thousands of people in our area. So it's amazing what they're doing, and nobody knows about it.
Right. They're out in the middle of...
There's a lot of stuff that happens in Oneida County and up at the
People
base that don't know.
Finally, Mike asking a question of you. It's a trivia question. Asking, can you name the last major political person in American politics who was a member of the military on a nuclear submarine?
Yes, I can. His name was William Anderson. He was a congressman from Tennessee. He retired from Congress in 1973, but he was the second commanding officer of the USS Nautilus. And Bill, you're not old enough to remember the Nautilus in the news, but it was our first nuclear submarine launched in, 56 or somewhere right in there. And, the first submarine to go underneath the polar ice cap and to transit and circumnavigate the world submerged. And William Anderson, I believe his name was the second commanding officer of that submarine. He was the last guy to serve on nuclear submarines to serve in Congress.
Do you, this person, Mike, asking, do you know of a former U.S. president who was involved in nuclear submarines?
Well, that's a carefully worded question because Jimmy Carter was a submarine officer, and he worked for Rickover to help develop the first reactors that we used on the Nautilus. But he never served on a nuclear submarine.
Did not know that.
His father died, and he got out of the Navy, I believe, in 1953, right in the middle of the training program.
Well, who would have thought? I have to cut you off because we're about to be taken over by Fox News. But who would have thought I'd hit you with trivia? Congressman, thank you.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Former President Trump in prime time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Hours after Vice President Harris goes to New Hampshire unveiling proposals to give tax breaks to small businesses.
Former President Trump had said he was hoping to debate Vice President Harris on Fox News tonight, but her campaign did not agree to that, and so it's turned into a town hall featuring just former President Trump with Fox News host Sean Hannity. Among the topics to be discussed, next Tuesday's debate with Harris on ABC.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. There's more scrutiny for Secret Service. More than a month after the Trump assassination attempt, Republican Senator Josh Hawley tells Fox whistleblowers have come forward saying some agents at the rally were from Homeland Security with no protection experience doing unrelated casework.
They were pulled off those cases, said, here, you're going to go guard the former president of the United States. Watch this webinar. Oops, it doesn't really work. That's all right. Go out into the field anyway.
The U.S. government has charged 6 Hamas leaders in the deaths of 43 Americans in the October 7th terror attack that triggered the war with Israel.
Hamas terrorists murdered civilians who tried to flee and those who sought refuge in bomb shelters. They murdered entire families. They murdered the elderly, and they murdered young children. They weaponized sexual violence against women.
Attorney General Merrick Garland. 3 of those Hamas members charged have been killed. The other 3 still in Gaza somewhere. A political shakeup in Ukraine while Russian attacks continue. Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba has resigned, joining several others stepping down.
President Zelensky's vowed to reset his cabinet, in his words, to achieve the results we need. Meanwhile, 7 people, 3 of them children, have reportedly been killed in a new Russian air attack on Lviv in western Ukraine. It follows missile strikes yesterday in which at least 50 people died.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. House Republicans have issued a subpoena for Secretary of State Antony Blinken to testify at a hearing later this month into the chaotic 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, that including a suicide bombing that killed Americans. America's listening to Fox News.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Former President Trump is appealing a federal judge's refusal to move the New York hush money criminal case he was already convicted in from state to federal court. He wants the conviction thrown out, claiming he had presidential immunity. A deputy is being mourned in Houston, Texas, the day after Maher Husseini was shot and killed while on his way to work, shot in his car at an intersection by someone who got out of their car and opened fire. A person of interest has been arrested. Hours later, 2 police officers were shot in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix Police Chief Mike Sullivan calls it a terrible night.
One of our officers was saved by his ballistic vest and is in stable condition. The second officer is currently fighting for his life in critical condition.
Sullivan says the officers responded to a car break-in and were shot as they chased the suspect on foot.
Our officers have been met by gunfire 11 times this year, protecting and serving this community. What happens tonight is senseless. It angers me.
Police have detained 1 person. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
A former aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, fired last year, is now accused of being an agent for the Chinese government. Linda Soon and her husband are both charged. Speaking of China, the U.S. climate envoy John Podesta is there.
For 3 days in another round of climate talks between China and the U.S. and building on pacts between the two nations that are the largest greenhouse gas emitters, as the Biden administration is also pushing China to set more ambitious climate goal targets, and as a deadline approaches by the beginning of next year for countries to submit new nationally determined financial contributions to the United Nations.
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso. On Wall Street, stock futures are down modestly the day after a massive sell-off. The Dow plunged more than 600 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now, we're in the low 50s under mostly clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. A 15-year-old boy accused of carrying out a murder in Syracuse has now been identified. According to court documents, Jaquest Williams is the person who shot and killed 15-year-old Alexia Lynch on Madison Street Friday night. Prosecutors say Williams intentionally opened fire towards the victim, and she was hit multiple times. No other details about the tragedy have been made public. Williams remains in custody and is being held on $250,000 bail. According to Frankfort Police Chief Palumbo, on September 3rd, around 6 p.m., the school resource officer at the Frankfort Schuyler Elementary School was made aware of an accidental discharge of a firearm on school grounds. Additional officers from the town of Frankfort Police responded to the scene to assist. Minor injuries were reported at the time, and the incident is currently under investigation. There was no threat to the public or students at any time. More information will be released at a later date. Utica police arrested 2 men accused of supplying offenders with ghost guns. Police say they seized many ghost guns from criminals in recent months and noticed they all had similar markings. Police traced the guns to a property on Champlain Ave in Yorkville and executed a search warrant. Police uncovered various firearms, including an AR-15, homemade sawed-off shotguns, 7 fully completed handguns, and an inert hand grenade. Also 3D printing materials. Police arrested 20-year-old Tristan Deeb and 19-year-old Angelise Richards. Both face numerous counts of criminal possession of a weapon, and more charges are anticipated. And American competitive eater Joey Chestnut is claiming victory in Netflix's Unfinished Beef hot dog eating contest. The Labor Day competition ended with Chestnut beating his competitor Teraku Kobayashi from Japan. The two hadn't faced off in 15 years. That was so well done.
That was really good.
I remember what you said.
Confidence.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Of course, you butchered it.
No, I didn't.
I don't know. It's probably exactly how it's pronounced.
Kobayashi, right? Everybody remembers that.
Kobayashi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Chestnut chowed down, and then I screw up that word. Chestnut chowed down 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes, while Kobayashi was able to only get down 66. Chestnut beat his...
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It really is. Chestnut beat his own record of 76 dogs and walked away with a $100,000 grand prize.
Weren't they disallowing him to participate for a while?
They were. No, because he was not allowed to do the 4th of July one on Coney Island because of his Impossible Meat endorsement.
Ah, right.
Which is crazy. This world of competitive eating,
that's right.
It's lucrative for some.
Others, not so.
Not so much.
Yeah. Like Kobayashi.
Yeah, Kobayashi.
Yeah.
It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more info. Today, we will see sunny skies with a high in the upper 70s. Clear skies expected overnight with temperatures falling back into the low 50s. Tomorrow's sunny skies with a high near 80. And the same for Friday. Sunny skies, temperatures in the lower 80s. Right now, 51 under clear skies at 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. Clay Holmes does it again, blowing a save. The Yankees were topped by the Rangers 7-4 in the bottom of the ninth at Globe Life Field. He was charged with the loss after allowing a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Pathetic. Anthony Volpe led the way at the plate for the Yanks after going 2 for 4 with a pair of runs batted in. New York is now second in the AL East at 80-59 and will look to grab the rubber match of the series tonight. Meanwhile, the Mets secured a series victory after topping the Red Sox 7-2 at Citi Field. David Peterson was credited with the win after striking out 11 batters and allowing 1 run over 6 innings pitched. Francisco Lindor, Mark Vientos, and Pete Alonso each went deep for New York, which has won 6 straight to improve to 75-64. The Mets are half a game back of the final NL wildcard spot and will look to sweep the series in tonight's finale. The Jets still waiting for one of their top pass rushers to show up. Head coach Robert Saleh said it's like finding change in the couch when talking about having Hassan Reddick report to the team. The Jets acquired him in March after making a trade with the Eagles, but he has not returned to the facility since his news conference in April. The 29-year-old has accumulated more than $2 million in mandatory fines and surrendered a $250,000 offseason workout bonus in an effort to sign a new contract. New York opens the season at the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football, and the New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll will take over play-calling duties from offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, who had been calling plays in each of the previous 2 seasons. The Vikings will visit MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants for Week 1.
Can I do a little, give a little perspective? Obviously, the Yankees going in, they're leading. They should have won the game. Boom. They lose.
They lost.
That was a shocker.
In awful fashion.
For the Mets, here the Mets are clobbering the Boston Red Sox. 7-2 the final in that game. Lindor, Pete Alonso, somebody else. Who else? Vientos, all with home runs.
Yep.
And but I do want to say, the Mets are red hot. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. And this is required at this point because so are the Atlanta Braves and Philadelphia Phillies. In fact, yesterday the Braves winning, Phillies were down by like 6 runs. They came within 1 run going into the 9th inning, and then they scored 2 to win the game. So the Phillies and Braves win. The Mets still a half game behind the Atlanta Braves, picking up no ground. But guess what? You lose those games, you fall further behind.
Yeah. So it's good that they're kind of keeping pace.
Yeah.
If there's a team that deserves to be in the playoffs right now, it's the Mets.
Yes.
If there's a team that deserves to go home,
there's still like 19 games left.
Put their head in the sand and the dirt.
Well,
shame.
I also read a story that that they're not sure what they're going to do with their closer situation as they head into the playoffs. Talking about the Yankees.
Sorry, I don't have confidence in Boone or the front office anymore. I think he goes nowhere.
Coming up, we'll talk about the historic Old St. John's annual bazaar.
Yeah.
So the Mediterranean Fest going on, the St. John's annual bazaar going on this weekend. A lot of stuff to be happening. The Reed Rundown. Andrew Reed, the weekly legal stories from Fox News. We'll get to that. And Ryan Nobles from NBC. We'll speak with Ryan on what's going on up there on Capitol Hill coming up in just a bit. Stand by. Coming right back Wednesday morning at WIBX.
This is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance. Finding insurance coverage can be an overwhelming undertaking. As your local independent insurance company, we work hard for you to get the best coverage.
My name is Timothy Dean. I'm from Taberg, New York. I have Dean's Concessions. I travel throughout New York State. I have been a customer for over 20 years, personal, with Gates Cole. And ever since I've started my business for the last 18 years have been solely with Gates Cole Insurance. As I have to call them from time to time to get certificates, and they take in within 15, 20 minutes. We have a certificate. Gates Cole has exceptional customer service. They're there for you, and I have referred people to Gates Cole, and those people that have transferred over to Gates Cole have been very happy with their services.
This is Tom Cole. For insurance for your home, auto, business, and just about everything else, trust your local independent insurance agency. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Summer is here, and if you want to transform your backyard into your very own staycation, look no further than Liverpool Pool and Spa. They're offering the season's lowest prices on above-ground pools with both round and oval sizes available. Low monthly payments or 24 months 0% financing for qualified buyers. Own a high-quality pool without the high price. Visit them at 1501 East Dominic Street in Rome or online at liverpoolpoolandspa.com. Don't just dream it, live it.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music and Electronics. Do you want to protect your property or business? We sell and install hundreds of camera surveillance systems each year, and we are New York State licensed. Big Apple Music sells security cameras with Starlight night vision, giving the best picture in the dark so you have the best chance of catching criminals. Our showroom is located on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, where we can give you a demonstration or we'll come spec the job at your location. Big Apple Music, 315-732-4162.
The Stanley Theater in downtown Utica presents 1964, The Tribute, on Thursday, September 19th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thestanley.org.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know about planning for nursing home care.
The best way, of course, is to plan ahead. The key is to make sure that you make decisions far ahead of the time that you need a nursing home. Getting the basic pieces in place, including power of attorney, healthcare proxy, will, trust, all those things, and working closely with your family to make sure you're organized and ready to go in case the worst happens.
You should also know there are strategies you can employ, even if you currently have a loved one in a nursing home.
When there's a crisis and someone's entered a nursing home, there are things we can do to act very quickly to protect some of the assets. It really does require that an elder law attorney be involved because the techniques that are used are very technical in nature.
To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Save thousands on the new revolutionary swim spa at a one-time sale.
Friday through Sunday.
Herkimer County Fairgrounds.
Exercise with low impact.
Swim the entire year and stay in shape.
Teach your kids to swim.
Unwind and save thousands.
Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool.
Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa.
Installation and 1 day only.
New 2024 inventory.
18-month interest-free financing.
Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Herkimer County Fairgrounds.
Free admission.
Free parking. Call 855-SPA-SALE.
Looking to do something fun for the whole family? Stop in at the 13th Annual St. George Mediterranean Festival, September 7th and 8th. There will be a delicious array of authentic Lebanese and Greek food and desserts. Beer and wine also available. An assortment of vendors, crafts, live music, dancing, and more. The 13th Annual St. George Mediterranean Festival, September 7th and 8th at the St. George Orthodox Church on 350 Higbee Road in New Hartford. A portion of the proceeds will support the ongoing recovery efforts in Rome.
Hey, I want to tell you, New York Sash is your company for windows, doors, siding, baths, and we've utilized every element of their services, and it's their family helping your family. You can trust their contractors. They are craftsmen. They do an incredible job, and they go above and beyond. They don't use subcontractors. They're always the people that come to your home are trained to install the products, to do a tremendous job, and to take care of you. We, of course, have the triple pane windows with the grids. I love the raised grids because they look like old-fashioned windows, but in fact, they're incredibly efficient, and they take care of you, the New York Sash people. Take care of you. Call them today at this phone number. It is 624-7344, 315-624-7344, or check them out online 24/7 at newyorksash.com.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I was just looking at the long-range forecast, and all of a sudden, I don't know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, there's something about this year's weather that we had this summer that annoyed me. Number one, it got so hot. It got so hot, you didn't want to go outside for a while.
Oh, no,
and
not
then
me.
we went away, and it came back, and it was cool, and then rainy, and then a lot of rain. And then this Labor Day weekend was cool and rainy, and we had one nice day out of it. And just when you thought the day was going well, by around 5 o'clock, it started pouring. And now here we have beautiful weather this week. It's going to be 3 days of beautiful weather.
Yes.
Maybe 4 days. Yesterday was really nice. And then we're back to the weekend where
there's still time.
You guys are going to have to do something to fix this weather this weekend. Although Sunday looks like it's going to be okay.
We've got a huge tent.
Oh, that is the key. That is the key.
3 tents.
That's
That
a
is the
recurring
key.
theme, but I think it still has time to shift a little bit. I think you're going to be all right.
That's what tents are for. I believe that was an old song done by That's What Tents Are For.
Yes,
That's
right,
what
yeah.
tents are for.
Yeah, I remember that well. From historical St. John's annual church, the annual bazaar, Father Tom Servatius.
You got it.
And Annette Gape. Good morning,
Good
guys.
morning.
Let's talk about this weekend. We're going to be, it's still early. It's only Wednesday. The forecast will change 4 times before we get there.
Before that, thanks for speaking up for Jim Fowler.
Ah, yes.
You know,
no one talks about him.
My brother and I used to talk about, we wonder what his insurance premiums were.
I hope they were free.
Well, the Mutual of Omaha was taking care of him, I
One
think.
would think.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Those were great days. I don't know. I would ever for me the big disappointment on Sundays where I would sit through because my parents always wanted us to watch Wild Kingdom. Yeah. For us before that, I think was the Jack Fredericks Remington show, outdoor sportsman show here locally. And then Wild Kingdom would come on. And they would always want us to watch that. And then Disney would come on, and it would be a wildlife, one of the few wildlife versions of Disney. So you'd really go through about 90 minutes of wildlife,
which was a treat if you grew up in West Utica.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Excellent point.
For me, I lived in the country. I'd seen all the squirrels and all that. So, all right, enough of that. Let's talk about this weekend. What do we have planned?
It's our annual bazaar, which probably has been running for 40 years now, you think?
It's been about 35, 40 years.
Wow.
It started with a couple of tables in the parking lot, and now we're up to 3 tents.
Okay. All right.
Coming back strong from COVID after all that. But we call it a charity bazaar because the funds do support the charity, our outreach efforts at St. John's. But in and of itself, the event is a charity one, lower prices, calmer, come visit, and then experience some food that you won't experience at a lot of other bazaars.
What are the what food can we expect? What do you have?
Go.
We're we're really blessed because we have 4 communities now this year that bring their specialties. So we have the Spanish community, the Vietnamese community, and the Filipino this year.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be exciting. But we also have the Italian food showing up. And,
of course.
And we have what everybody loves, the fried bologna sandwiches. I'll let Father Tom talk about that one.
Yeah. Well, that's a big Western New York thing as well.
And we shouldn't forget pizza free.
Of course.
So what is neat about this is you are really this is Bleecker Street. This is like
you're in the heart of downtown.
It is East Utica 2024, which is a huge mix of all different types of people.
Massive mix, yeah.
And all different types of food, which is the beauty of it. And I say, if you've not been down on Bleecker Street, you still can take advantage of Oscan Eats and Italian and the bakeries and all of that. But then you have so many different ethnic foods that are really worth trying, and you'll love.
Yeah, it also indicates the kind of parish we are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you come to our masses, there's a whole mix of people in the building. A wonderful, wonderful way to celebrate, not only as a church, but then we go outside in the tent and celebrate in a very, very different way.
Yeah.
And that parish has been like that for a long, long time now. Just all are welcome in so many ways there.
Yeah.
It feels like a family reunion every year that we do it. And so when we didn't do it for COVID, people really missed it, just like they missed their family reunions.
Right.
So everybody's welcome because it's who we are.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping people come.
All right. What are your hours?
Saturday is 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Sunday is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right.
Yeah, just during the day.
Yeah.
Of course, in the mornings, pizza free, coffee will be on, and as the rest of the food gets
great
cranked
post-mass treat, right?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yes.
And we have a fantastic bake sale too, and basket raffles, and we have a marketplace that is it's just so lovely to walk into, and we actually have people line up down the street for it.
Yeah.
So it's well known and it's good stuff.
It is very interesting how a lot of what we know our area to be today came out of the churches years and years ago. There was a time when you couldn't find a Chinese restaurant in the area, or maybe there was one. You couldn't find an Italian restaurant or a pizza in the area. Obviously, that goes back, but that's what
a long time ago.
That part of Utica created, and much of it came out of the churches.
Yeah, this weekend you'll probably find 3, if not 4 different kinds of egg rolls. Just to give you that kind of an indication.
Yeah.
2 or 3 different rice dishes coming from the different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
But if you want sausage and peppers, we got that too.
Yeah, that as well. All right.
Meatball subs.
Good stuff. Anything else you want people to know?
Come on down, have a good time, relax. Just come visit, wander around, check out the baskets, check out the marketplace, grab something to eat, and come down Saturday, eat one thing, and then come back Sunday and eat something else.
Okay.
We're a little food oriented. That's what we want people to know.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll break and come right back at WIBX.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Mattress Express's Labor Day sale is here. Take up to 60 months to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified customers. Save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, $1,000 on Purple, $700 on Stearns & Foster, and $1,350 on Puffy.
When we get together with others, we can do more. On September 20th, our community will hold Mohawk Valley Gives, a 24-hour day of giving to benefit area nonprofits. Your donation will help hundreds of nonprofit organizations meet our community's greatest needs, and every dollar counts. Join us on September 20th at givemb.org, and let's show everybody that Mohawk Valley gives.
Powered by the Community Foundation and Up Mobility Foundation, proudly sponsored by Staffworks and M&T Bank, and brought to you by Town Square Media.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call her at 202-224-3121. Urge her to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing H.R. 4895. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three.
Basic estate planning is comprised of the three main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the three the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated.
I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed?
Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken, as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust.
To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at more than 85,000 grocery stores, gas stations, and restaurants, including popular national chains and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn up to $10 cash back every time you go to the grocery store or dine out. That's up to $10 right back in your pocket on every meal out and every grocery run. The best part? You can earn on top of your credit or debit card rewards. Download Upside today. Use promo code SNACK10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code SNACK10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code SNACK10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right. A couple things. Davey, did you see what happened to Carrie Sane on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, Carly. Yes, I did. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's a Japanese.
Her name, Carrie Sane.
She's a Japanese wrestler. Yes, I did see it.
What happened?
See, there you go with that confidence in the name.
Yeah,
power.
I had it right.
She was in a tag match and she took a brutal hit
to the eye.
Yes, I seen it. I watched it live.
Yeah.
So
bad eye.
And Joe Tessitore's the new announcer for Monday Night Raw now.
Oh,
interesting.
That's exciting. I don't know who he is.
He does college football and all the boxing for ESPN.
Yeah. Bill, this is from Mike. Do you remember the show that came on after Disney's Wonderful World of Color? After Disney's Wonderful World of Color, do you know the show?
Mm-mm.
I do not know the show. Actually, I do. Here's the answer.
Bonanza, the Little Joe.
Bonanza, Little Joe, and Haas. Enough of that.
I'm tired.
And Lauren Green played the father.
Lauren Green. And here is now, ladies and gentlemen, the character who played Haas, coming back from the dead on the line right now. Good morning. Good morning, Haas.
Well, good morning, Bill, and hello, Andrew and Davey.
Good morning, Stefan.
All right, everything okay with you? Are you?
I don't think so.
Are things back to normal for you?
Yes, and a couple of things going on this week.
Okay.
Tonight is a Utica Common Council meeting.
How exciting.
And Friday at Gaetano Stadium under the lights is the first for this year Utica University football game.
Okay, my guess is you will be there.
I'll try to make both events, and I'll try to be there.
Okay, all right. I have let's see, Mr. Nice Guy saying that Utica is going to make it illegal for people to sleep in public.
Okay.
Well, they better not be looking at me at a stoplight. Oh, boy.
Or behind the wheel.
Boy.
Yeah.
Could be bad. Okay there, Stefan. Good stuff. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, Bill.
Glad things are back to normal. And how about the Mets?
They're looking hot right now.
We're staying in it.
Hopefully they go for the sweep against Boston today.
Is that a day game or a night game tonight?
It's a night game.
Okay, I figured. All right, have a nice day, Stefan. Go Mets.
Bye, Bill.
All right, goodbye. Go Mets. Go Bills. He's also a Giants fan.
Yeah, poor guy.
Davey is. Yeah, it'll be a long season for at least one of those teams. You never know. Weekly Legal. We do the Read Rundown.
The Read Rundown.
Are you actually adding sound effects?
Yeah,
now?
well, it's either going to be, geez, what do we got here? That.
All right, the Read Rundown, taking a look at some of the legal stories. That is the exact lightning and thunder sound effect for Gilligan's Island.
Sit right back and you'll hear the tales. The weekly tales from Read.
Here's Andrew Reed, and good morning, Andrew. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be back.
Thanks for coming on.
He's really going to stop calling into the show, I think.
Tolerating us. Topic number one, Elon Musk's social media platform, X, has been banned.
Oh, this is a big one.
In Brazil. And their Supreme Court actually just recently upheld that. What do you think?
This one is an interesting one to watch because the way this came about is there's some reports, and I will say just because of how things get translated, it's one, sometimes things get misinterpreted. So it's unclear if it was they have changed their law slightly or if it actually was just a new interpretation of the law by this particular judge who said X has to moderate their content. Some would call it censorship. And so Elon Musk, being who he is, and that's been kind of the foundation of his purchase of X, was he wanted it to be a free speech platform. So he doesn't want really any type of censorship in any way. So he said, we're going to fight this. They have tried to fight it, but ultimately X has been banned in Brazil.
Yeah.
And the judges down there actually went a step further and actually have now imposed a ban that is a fine of equivalent of $8,000 for any individual or business that uses a VPN to access it. They do not want it accessed in any way, shape, or form down there. So it's one that's an interesting one to see, and also to watch how this plays out and how it's brought about in the U.S. in terms of how it's looked at and the way things are talked about, especially in the political environment we are right now.
But wouldn't you say, though, that we are very privileged in the United States to have the free speech laws protecting us, the rights that we have protecting us, that they do not have in other places around the world, and that would include Brazil.
Very much so. And it's one, there are aspects of every country's laws, and it's one, Brazil has had a lot of changes both politically as well as in their legal structure with new judges, et cetera, being brought in. So it's any number of reasons could be pointed to for how this came about. But ultimately, it'll be interesting to watch and see how it plays out in terms, especially with the VPN, seeing how many of those fines they impose, how they're going to look to approve or find those individuals, et cetera.
All right, very interesting. Okay, so now, so the family of Isaac Hayes, who wrote the song done by Sam and Dave, this is happening a lot right now.
It seems like every time we talk to Andrew Reid,
they have filed a lawsuit in federal court suing Trump over the use of their song, Hold On, I'm Coming. What do you think about what do you think about this one?
It's there's a lot to unpack, especially because this involves a copyright, and there are so many different licenses for copyright. It's one, if you're using it for film purposes, it's one type of license. If you're using it for performance, it's another license. If you're just playing it, for example, at a restaurant, it's a different license.
Yeah.
So there's all these different ways. And to add more complexity, every version of the song. So if an artist recorded it in multiple, for example, a live format, then a studio format, maybe a remix format, each one of those is a different license. And so in this situation, the Hayes family said, we don't want Trump using this. We believe there's an issue. Ultimately, they looked at it and said, you know what, we think we have a case here. They filed a copyright infringement suit. And so that's where we stand right now. A judge actually said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and grant a preliminary injunction telling Trump he can't use this. Trump campaign had already come out and said, actually, we aren't going to use it moving forward. So in all reality, that's moot. But at the same time, it's one that's been granted, but that's not necessarily uncommon with these types of cases as well. So we're waiting to see what a judge says, if there's any type of actual damages here. So we will wait and see how it all plays out.
It is very interesting. You would think that just by paying the ASCAP BMI fees that you would be legally able to play whatever you want, like a DJ would play. However, they're looking at this differently, almost as if the song and the artist is endorsing Trump, which is why they're stepping in. It's very interesting to watch, and we'll see if any precedent comes out of this, right?
It's one we will have to wait and see.
Yeah.
It's one, there's all sorts of ways this can actually play out. It could be one that there's damages. They could come out and say, no, the licenses were actually purchased correctly, or they may say there was an one license missed, and so there's a small damages portion. Any number of ways that this can ultimately play out.
All right, we'll see what happens there. Topic number 3, Clearview AI fined $33.7 million by a Dutch data protection watchdog over an illegal database of faces. This is, while this won't have really any effect on our laws, this is coming, don't you think? I mean, the use of somebody's voice, the use of a famous voice or a voiceover artist. We talked about this the other day in one of the cases. This has not been determined here. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, because it's coming here, I would think.
There are a lot of laws that are going to be coming about with AI, in particular with how it's used to do any type of major analysis, for, in this case, facial recognition, in any type of data, the deep fake situations, you've got all of that. But what's interesting about this one, and there's going to be a lot of follow-up, I'm sure, about this case, ultimately, I believe, personally, is that this company, Clearview, said, you know what? We don't operate in Europe. They have no physical location. They have no customers in Europe, based on at least one report. But yet, this Dutch court says you're violating our data laws. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're actually going to say that, oh, yes, they have violated it and we can't impose this judgment, when from all the reports so far is that this company doesn't have any ties to that country.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to how that can play out. And if it does play out, that's going to raise a lot of questions for companies that are arguably a worldwide type of company. Okay, how do you ensure that you're not getting data from that particular country or engaging with it in any way that allows for you to be a part of their legal system?
So I do think that this is going to be, for instance, if you take someone who makes a living off their face or off their acting abilities, and you load that into the database, or you take someone who makes money off their voice and you load that into your database, all of a sudden, aren't you stealing that person's voice or stealing that person's identity?
It's one. That's where there's a lot of questions because, for one, it depends on where they are getting for example, in this case, the images from.
Yeah.
If it's a public source or they are licensing those images from, say, a social media platform, for example, those are another type of imaging platform. That's one of those they could have an argument, for example, to say, no, we legally purchased those images. So it's one, there's a lot of different ways they could have gathered these images that arguably means there's no actual fault in the scenario that you gave.
All right. Well, we'll see where where all of this AI stuff goes. But you're right. I really feel like we're going to be very involved in this going forward as this gets bigger and bigger. Hold on. I have a comment from a listener. Well, apparently I don't. Well, try it now.
You got to go to line 2.
Let me try it.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. This is stupid.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. This is stupid.
Our governor thinks this is stupid, Andrew.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. This is stupid.
I don't know.
She shouldn't use that type of language.
Yeah. Next, she'll be suing us. It's going to be awful. Andrew Reed in the Reed Rundown.
The Reed Rundown.
As always, we appreciate it, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Glad to be on.
Thanks. All right. I believe he's going to sue us for lost time.
And annoyance.
Time he'll never be able to get back.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. This is stupid.
Sorry.
Hochul.
Is it Hochul that she's saying? This is Governor Kathy Hochul.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. This is stupid.
Yeah. Well, maybe that makes it legal for us. It's not. She's not saying
She's not
Hochul.
right? Yeah.
That is her voice, though. I don't know. Coming up, Ryan Nobles from NBC.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
It's happening at pharmacies all across America. Older Americans keep asking, where are the lower prices on prescription drugs Joe Biden and Kamala Harris keep taking credit for? First, Harris cast the deciding vote for the Inflation Reduction Act, promising to lower drug prices. Then the Biden-Harris administration used the money from Medicare to bankroll their liberal green agenda. That's right. Instead of savings, seniors got a 20% premium increase, restrictions on access to medicine, and fewer cures. Now, liberals want to expand this Biden-Harris scheme that is already hurting seniors. Thankfully, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik has always fought to protect Medicare drug coverage. Call her at 202-224-3121. Urge her to keep fighting for affordable drug coverage by opposing H.R. 4895. Paid for by Seniors for Better Care.
Save thousands on the new revolutionary swim spa at a one-time sale. Today and tomorrow. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation and 1 day only. New 2024 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Herkimer County Fairgrounds. Free admission. Free parking. Call 855-SPA-SALE.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. Andrew, you are stupid.
Did I hear
I'm
that
not
right?
stupid enough to hire a Chinese spy in my administration.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. Andrew, you are stupid.
So did you see the story out of...
I would want her to say, Davey, you're a smart one.
Yeah, well, you wish.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love egg rolls.
She's so cool.
Now
cool.
She's changed her name to Ho Cool.
Yeah, she's so cool.
All right. Fair enough. All right. The Burmese
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love egg rolls.
Okay.
Pipe down there, Governor.
You sit right over there. We're going to be just fine.
So I don't know where this story's out of. But
She's the best, though. I mean, of all the AI stuff that we're able to do,
it's awesome.
Nobody's any better than the governor.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love egg rolls.
It's from New Hartford.
Okay. What is from New Hartford? That story?
Okay, so
get out of here.
On August 28th, Environmental Conservation Officer Jeff Hull responded to a complaint of a subject with a large snake that the complainant didn't believe to be illegal. After seeing a picture of the snake, ECO Hull was able to identify it by the arrowhead-like design on its head as a Burmese python.
Where in New Hartford is this?
I don't know where it was discovered, but the Burmese pythons are illegal to possess in the state of New York without a permit. The snake was found to be in good health, measuring 13 feet.
Holy moly.
2 inches and weighing 80 pounds. It was seized and donated to the Fort Ricky Discovery Zone. And that's in Rome. They have a required permit to possess it.
No, that's in Rome, but it's not saying where the where
not
it was
in this
found.
story. But the owner of the snake was given tickets for possession of wildlife as a pet and for possessing dangerous
This is Governor
wildlife
Kathy
without a
Hochul. I
permit.
love pythons.
We're gonna take the AI away from you.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking
This
about.
is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love pythons.
She does.
And egg rolls.
And egg rolls and yeah.
Everything else.
That is crazy. So someone was keeping a python locally.
As a pet.
It got out or they let it
They
out.
probably let it out because, like, what am I going to do with this thing in my house?
Is that the New Hartford Animal Control?
This is the DEC.
Okay. Because if I'm New Hartford Animal Control,
I'm not
I would
going
be
anywhere
like,
near that.
sorry, you guys can do this one. I'm not doing this one.
Well, the Burmese pythons are very
Are you
gentle.
sure that's from New Hartford? Is that what it says?
It's from New Hartford. A concerned resident filed a complaint with the DEC.
And where's that story you have? Who has that story?
Well, this is, I think Polly down the hall did the story for our websites, but that's coming right from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation website or
Okay.
Facebook page. I'm going back to look at it. Hold on.
right.
Where the heck was it?
You gotta wonder where that stuff.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love Polly.
How cool! How cool you
This
are!
is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love Polly.
She can't get past how cool. Sometimes they work. Sometimes it doesn't work.
I'm trying to see where it was. I don't know where it was discovered.
You just don't know
The way
where
these
in New
stories
Hartford,
are written
anybody you
anymore.
know
I
in
don't
New
know
Hartford.
what the heck's
Wow.
going on here.
It
Well-
was in New Hartford.
I got to tell you, you never know with these things. And what now? A Burmese python is not necessarily
Poisonous.
they're not poisonous,
But
and
they'll choke you to death and then swallow you
and
whole.
then swallow you.
Yeah.
Like a little baby, it would definitely, or your cat, it would definitely take your cat.
Or Davy.
Or Davy, even Davy, the size of Davy, they'd take you.
You're sure it was in New Hartford?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was in New Hartford.
Okay, absolutely 100%. Cross your heart, point it on.
Yes.
The head from a statue outside an art studio in Canada was stolen for the third time. Canadian business had the head of their statue stolen. Here's Marlies Soltis, the owner of Inspire Studio, talking about the 3 separate times the statue's head was stolen.
The first time it went missing was a couple of years ago. And then I think whoever took it that time decided that this is not a trophy that he or she can show off very much because everybody cared so much. So one morning we found it under the bench. And then the second time that it happened, a local person here in town found it at our local beach. Now it's like, where's Waldo? But now it's, where's Art's head?
Where is the head of the...
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love statues.
Okay.
She's got to stop. Come on, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, my gosh. A lot of back to school going on today.
A lot of back to school. Be careful out there with the school buses and all of that stuff.
Yeah, don't pass a stop school bus, because that's probably the most scumbaggish thing you can do.
This is what happens on the program when we find out Ryan's not available and he's on vacation.
Is that what happened? Okay.
I just start filling with
I'm going to
all
get you out
sorts
of here
things.
a little bit earlier then.
Oh, no. These I do enjoy these moments where we can just kind of do whatever we want, to be honest
like
with you.
this.
Anything could happen. All right. Let me tell you about this story. Thousands of dollars have been raised online, over 6,000 to a homeless group in England after a TikToker. I'm not going to do that story. That isn't even close to us. But I'll find one.
It's important sometimes to know what's going on internationally.
Today is National Wildlife Day.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I love Ryan.
Okay, you're a little late to the party there, Governor.
Does she love wildlife too? Is that what it is?
Today's National Wildlife Day. And also I wanted to say that the movie Beetlejuice is going to be coming in theaters starting tomorrow.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's been a while since the first. I did like the first one.
Willie Waffle will be doing a review of that on Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it hits theaters tomorrow night, and I'm hearing some mixed reviews early on, but I can only imagine it'll be worth seeing. And you have all the originals in the movie. That's pretty darn cool, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I do love Michael Keaton, and I'm sure, and I loved him in that role originally. So,
did you see the story about Altoids? Altoid
those
sours,
disgusting mints.
Those disgusting mints.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're back.
They were the ones that were a little orange. They were like orange, and they'd be in an aluminum tin.
After being
disgusting.
discontinued 14 years ago, the classic Altoid sours are back after 14 years.
Altoid Sours Challenge.
This is an actual commercial, by the way.
So go ahead and try the first one.
Okay.
So how do you like it?
It's okay.
Now go ahead and try the second. So how did you like that?
I like that one. I like it a lot.
People love Altoid sours.
Was that Hochul in that commercial? I love Altoids.
That was real. The NFL brings along with it some seriously passionate fan bases. With that passion can come some unpleasant and rude behavior.
I already know what this story is.
Gameable.com took a survey of football fans across the country and found out which fans were the worst of the worst.
Yep.
Here are the top 10 rudest fans. Who do you think is number one?
I know because I've experienced this. I went to Philadelphia as a Green Bay Packers fan, and I'm surprised I didn't come back with a battery charge.
Philadelphia is known as the worst of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I had my car towed in Philadelphia once. Had nothing to do with the fans. Philadelphia Eagles fans are the worst. They start fights. Number 2 on the list, Dallas.
Ooh, okay.
The bragging apparently really bothers people. Number 3, the Raiders drink too much. The Patriots drink too much. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Where are the Bills?
The Pittsburgh Steelers are number 5 on the list. They use profanity. Number 6, Green Bay Packers. Their livers are toxic. Number 7, Chicago Bears. Number 8, the New York Giants. Number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Bills check in at number 10 when it comes to the worst fans in the NFL. I'm kind of surprised the Bills weren't further up on the list.
Yeah, because they're pretty rude.
Because they do have some pretty difficult fans. All right, that's all I have, and you're telling me I got to go. We will go. We have news coming up top of the hour. Brian Kilmeade after that. We're back here tomorrow morning. And tomorrow we'll be live from Rome for Honor America Day. So we'll get into it coming up tomorrow.
Don Hartman and staff would like to invite you to save 30% on timeless treasures at the Potting Shed Antiques. For the entire month of September, enjoy 30% off the entire store, excluding gold jewelry and coins. Find unique items like furniture, lighting, stoneware, china, toys, glass, silver, costume jewelry, collectibles, and more. Visit us on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or online at thepottingshedantiques.com. Open Thursday through Saturday. Come find your next one-of-a-kind piece today at the Potting Shed Antiques.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's been called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-686-2430, 800-686-2430. Free bottles for limited time, so call.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
They want to question the Secretary of State under oath. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. House Republicans have sent a subpoena to Antony Blinken.
House Republicans are threatening contempt charges if Secretary of State Blinken doesn't appear for a House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing on September 19th. Chairman Michael McCall, in a letter, says current and former State Department officials have confirmed Secretary Blinken was the final decision maker on what turned out to be a chaotic exit from Afghanistan, where 13 U.S. service members were killed.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The State Department's calling the subpoena unnecessary. That Blinken has testified on Afghanistan multiple times, and they've turned over thousands of records. While Israel still deals with Hamas and Gaza, Hezbollah militants fired more than 60 rockets from Lebanon today.
Some of them being intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome. No serious injuries were reported, though some damage was reported to at least one building in the area. The event was another example of how Iranian proxies continued daily attacks against Israel and comes after Israeli air defense shot down an incoming drone launched from Iraq overnight.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Russia bombed the Ukrainian city of Lviv overnight, killing 7 people. Hours later, Ukraine's foreign minister resigned amid a political shakeup during the war. The day after Russian missile strikes left more than 50 people dead in Poltava. The Secret Service is feeling more heat over the Trump assassination attempt. Republican Senator Josh Hawley tells Fox whistleblowers have come forward, saying some agents at the rally were from Homeland Security and didn't have a protection background.
Now, they say that those agents were only given a single 2-hour online training to prepare. The training video was pre-recorded, and some even say that those videos were riddled with tech failures.
Fox's Brooke Simon. Tonight, former President Trump has a town hall forum in Pennsylvania on Fox News Channel, hours after Vice President Harris campaigns in New Hampshire touting proposed small business tax breaks. America's listening to Fox News.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted